First step to installing your shower is measure the panel to see where it's going. Secure tape to the curb so you don't draw on the tile. Mark on the tape where the panel ends and the center line of the curb. Once you know where the glass is going, we need to mount the U-channel. Position the U-channel on the center line and make sure it's level. Drill 3 holes in the U-channel. Put the U-channel against the wall and mark your holes on the wall. Use a masonry bit to drill your holes. While the U-channel is up against the wall, use a larger drill bit to countersink your screws. Now it's time to screw the U-channel to the wall. If you have any anchors, insert them before the U-channel is completely secured. When it's all done, check one more time to make sure everything's level. In this install, we use clear shims at the bottom to help us move the glass without chipping it. Silicone inside the U-channel, then put the glass inside the U-channel. Check to see if the glass is level. If it's not level because the wall is too far out of plumb, you may need to use a deep U-channel. Check to make sure the glass aligns with the marks you made earlier. Measure the distance from the curb in multiple places. Now that you're ready to mount the door, open up your hinges and disassemble them. Use only the thicker shims that come with the hinge when using the Prosto shower system. Thinner shims are for 1/2 inch glass. Before you completely tighten the backplate onto the hinge, make sure the distance along the hinge to the glass is even at the top and bottom. If needed, we can adjust this later to adjust for an out-of-plumb wall. Don't forget to use shims on both sides of the glass. The door is 1/2 inch shorter than B and C panels to give you room for a water sweep. Make sure that you account for this and don't hang the door upside down. Use wood shims underneath the door to help you position the door. Mounting the door is easiest to do with 2 people. Check your gap to make sure it's the right size for whatever seal you're using in between panels. It's handy to have a small piece of U-channel at the top of the glass to align your 2 panels. Adjust the position of the door so that it aligns at the top. Use a small pry bar that's padded with tape to lift the door so you can adjust the shims. We're mindful of the gap between panels of glass when we're doing these adjustments. Measure the gap at the top and bottom to make sure it's relatively close. If you aren't using any seals, you have to be extremely precise with your gap. If you are using seals, they'll give you room for adjustment later. Measure the distance from the curb to make sure it matches your fixed panel. Measure in multiple places. Mark the holes for your hinges. Once that's done, take the door off and drill through the tile. Position the door back to where it was. Don't forget that U-channel at the top. Now screw the hinges to the wall. Depending on the thickness of your tile, we often recommend that you use longer screws than provided by the hinge manufacturer. To make your final adjustments, you can loosen the hinge backplate and shift the door for better alignment. Alright, the door is installed. Let's give it a test swing. Looks good. We're ready to put on the handles and seals. Disassemble the handle using Allen wrenches. Start with the inside handle, and don't forget the seals on both sides of the door. Move on to your longer handle. And bring it all together where they meet. Clean your tile and glass of all dust because we're going to use silicone adhesive to hold the fixed panels. Apply the silicone between the U-channel and the tile, then push it in with your finger. Do the same for the U-channel on the glass. Cut those clear plastic shims if you used any, and apply silicone along the floor of the glass, both inside and out. Be sure to warn everyone not to touch the glass for at least 24 hours while the silicone is drying. Afterwards, you can attach all of your seals. For this large corner shower, we're attaching the door to a B panel and have a C panel making a 90-degree return. In this scenario, we had crooked walls, so we used deep U-channel to give us more flexibility in positioning the glass. For larger doors, some installers prefer to use U-channel on the floor of the B panel as well. After you install the B panel, you need to lay out the remaining panels. To account for gaps and magnetic seals, add 1 inch to your door size and mark your line. Measure from the end of the curb to that line. Take that measurement to the wall, and that's where you're going to attach the U-channel. Now mount the C panel to the wall and line it up with your mark. Double check your measurements to make sure the glass is straight. Measure from the B panel to the C panel to ensure the spacing is consistent all the way down. Keep in mind you'll be able to do some adjustment when you mount the door. Disassemble your hinges and attach them to the B panel. For better aesthetics, have the bolts inside the shower. Mount the support beam to the B panel. Ensure that the beam is level. After that, mark the beam's position on the wall. Take apart the support beam to get the wall end. Mark the hole on the wall and drill out the tile. Insert your anchor. Now you can attach the wall end to the wall. If you have oil rubbed bronze, color the screw tips with a black or brown permanent marker so they don't stand out. Assemble the support now. If the beam is too long, keep in mind you can cut the middle section with a hacksaw. On the glass end, use the set screws to tighten the brace to the wall. The support beam is mandatory with all B panels. When a door swings open, it can create 150 pounds of tension. In this demo, we installed the B panel prior to recording. You must wait at least 24 hours for the silicone to set. If you attach the door before the silicone is set, it will fall out. The door is half an inch shorter than B and C panels to give you room for a water sweep. Make sure that you account for this and don't hang the door upside down. Get your helper inside the shower and prepare your shims underneath the door. Align the door so the hinge cutouts align with the hinges. Tighten the bolts on the hinges and keep adjusting the door as needed to make sure everything aligns up nicely. Don't forget the shims on both sides of the hinges. When you're finished adjusting, tighten everything down. Attach the magnets to see how everything aligns. If If the magnets are too long, you can cut them with tin snips. Make sure they align at the top because that's where they're the most noticeable. If you use shims, cut them so they don't protrude. Now that everything looks good, seal everything with silicone adhesive in and out. You're ready to attach the handle now. Most people prefer to have the long side outside in case you want to hang a towel on it. The handles come with little rubber seals. Don't forget the seals on both inside and outside the shower. If you lose them for some reason, you can use silicone in place of those seals. You're mostly done now. We like to tape off the shower door so that nobody tries to open with it while the glue is drying. Let it sit like this for at least 24 hours, and the next day you're going to have a beautiful shower.